Greetings followers. I would like today to talk to you about the need for international travellers to perform PCR tests, and in particular with the Randox service. I have just returned from depositing my PCR test, and I want to highlight some of the challenges that's presented with this still today. It is of course a requirement for anyone entering in either South Africa or Namibia to have a PCR test showing a negative status. However, there is a difference between the requirements for Windhoek entry into Namibia and Cape Town, South Africa. In particular, the requirement for South Africa is the test must be taken within 72 hours of scheduled arrival. However, for Namibia, the requirement is 72 hours of arrival. And of course, in the event of any delay, if we're potentially moved on to a different flight, could be a few hours afterwards, could be a day afterwards, there would likely be a requirement to perform a PCR test again. I, for convenience, have chosen to utilise the Randox service where I collect the test from a nearby location and I deposit it in another nearby location, albeit that's different and they're probably about 20 miles apart. However, that's what I've opted for. Bob, however, is going to a testing clinic tomorrow and is paying a premium to have the in-clinic test that will give the results back to him within 6 hours. So he would be in a better situation in the event of a delay. However, that's just not realistic for me. So the method of obtaining the PCR test firstly is through signing up online, purchasing a sample pack, and then they provide you with a reference number. That reference number allows you to go and collect, in my case, from a newsagent's, the PCR pre-departure testing kit. I chose to pick mine up from Wellington just because I was going to be near that location. Unfortunately, when I turned up there, having made a trip on the train that was vaguely en route, the test was not available. They did not have any in stock. Apparently they've been waiting for the Randox test for quite a period of time. So my option was then to call Randox and ask for assistance. Randox, unfortunately, then signposted me towards an organisation called PayPoint, who are effectively a logistics business. And PayPoint told me that I could pick one up from a newsagent's in Leatherhead. However, when I then called ahead to the newsagents in Leatherhead, they didn't actually have any in stock. So when I called PayPoint back again, they informed me that I could actually pick one up from Cobham, which is relatively nearby to Leatherhead, and they actually called ahead to make sure that they had stock prior to my collection. Now, I then waited just over a day before doing the test because I want to make sure I fit within the 72 hours of arrival as would be when we land in Windhoek, Namibia, and currently I'm approximately 70 hours. Now, the test that you take is the PCR test, whereby you swab your tonsils, you swab your nostrils, you place that within the sample tube and then package it up safely and drop it in a drop box. I will add a picture at the end of this video just so you can see what these drop boxes look like. I then drove to the location. I recorded the time of my test on the Randox website and then packaged that off, dropping it in the drop box. And I'm assured, because I had the box in before their deadline for the collection, that I should have that test back within 24 hours. That then gives me time to upload the necessary certificates to either the South African or the Namibian governments, and also utilising the Verifly service. So this is a necessary step for international travel. It's certainly not as straightforward as it could be. There is definitely complications on the way. It is essential that we undertake this test because the vaccination status in Namibia is only 17% of the population have actually had their vaccination. So whereas I personally am triple jabbed, as is Bob, not everyone will be in the same boat. So we've got to be cautious. We obviously don't want to be introducing any COVID to the locals of Namibia. Hence, it's important we do our tests. Of course, there's no guarantee from this point on that I don't contract COVID or just carry it into the country through other means, but fingers crossed that won't happen, and we'll have a fabulous expedition which now will just start in less than 72 hours when we arrive in Namibia. So watch this space for further updates on our departure, our flight and our arrival, and if you've got any questions, please do raise a comment at the end of this video, and we'd be very pleased if you'd like and subscribe to the content so you get notified of further updates. Thank you very much.